Our player of the game, obviously Harrison Waylee, 10
Yeah,
carries, 151 yards, 3 touchdowns, tied for the 10th most nationally this week with
yeah.
151 yards, third most in the ACC. Obviously, the big one. I didn't even have a doubt in my mind what the run was that he broke. 97-yard run, set the record for the longest in school history. I
Yeah.
vividly remember that Mikkel Simpson
Yep.
96-yarder in the Gator Bowl
Yeah.
against Texas Tech. Brad, where were you that day?
Oh man, I was not at the Gator Bowl though. I wish I had been. And it's funny though because like not only that, but then you've got the 700 yards for and so
Yeah.
you think about sort of being able to break records that have in one case stood for 50 plus years, and another case, I mean. 96 yards is a haul, right? 97, I mean, and like there was no doubt. I mean, and I understand again we're talking about a team playing William and Mary, so I'm not trying to pile on here, and I'm not trying to make anybody out to be superheroes, but like I don't care who you're playing. That kid had hit a gear I didn't know he had, and for him to as Tony Elliott talked about in the press conference, right? For him to not get a carry in Raleigh, to come back the next week and do that and be as consistent as he was, I think says a lot about him and a lot about sort of the culture that seems to be among these players. He was a perfect example of that, considering he was not involved in the game in Raleigh, and then he steps in and he looks like he's been there all season, right? I just thought that his production, his balance, I thought he showed not just a burst, but then also, he had some straight line speed, like I said, that I didn't realize that was a part of his game, right? It's the whole Shaq gif, like I wasn't, I apologize, young fella, I wasn't familiar with your game.
I have to give credit where credit is due. Greg Medea, our friend for the Daily Progress, said before the season, his under the radar guy was Harrison Waylee. He said
Okay.
at some point this season they're going to need Harrison Waylee. I don't know if they needed him against William
Yeah.
and Mary, but he certainly helped himself. And he
Yeah.
actually is the one that tuned me onto him when they got him in the transfer portal. I was like, oh, he's got like decent numbers at his
Yeah.
previous two stops, but he's been injured and kind of banged up, whatever.
Yeah.
But he was like, go watch that Texas game. I don't know if you've seen it. He had a 70-yard touchdown run
No,
against
I haven't seen
Texas
it.
where it showed that same kind of burst. You're like, I didn't
Yeah.
know he had that. I was like,
Yeah.
I've seen that one time
One
before
time.
from him, and that was that Texas run.
Yeah.
And I think he even said post game, he was like, yeah, that's probably still my favorite run because it was like Texas.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we've seen it before. And yeah, like you said, just to have a guy like that in your treasure trove of running
Yeah.
backs coming off the bench,